Similarly to a lot of people, I've played RuneScape for a surprising amount of my life. But there are a lot of people who, like me, have kind of had an on-again, off-again relationship with the game. However, there's currently a limited time game mode in RuneScape that you might have heard about called Trailblazer Leagues Reloaded, where you hop into a world and you start off your character off from scratch. XP and drop rates are multiplied, areas of the map are locked off, and you get a list of thousands of tasks that let you unlock additional areas of the world and unlock incredibly powerful buffs to make the game even easier, with the goal of getting enough tasks done, enough points, so you can get some special cosmetics that you can use on your regular account. Now, there are a ton of YouTube channels that are making videos on this league right now, and they're talking about their progress and how fast they're getting things done and the best way to do things and strategies and stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing any of that. First of all, I wouldn't really be adding anything new to the conversation, I think. Not least because of the second reason, which is I'm really not that good at the game. I know a lot of stuff because of how long I've played it for, but I'm already behind all the other YouTubers because I work a full-time job and I just don't have time to keep up, and frankly I'm not good enough. So this video is not going to be that. This video is instead going to be me talking about why I think right now is the best time for someone to either come back to play RuneScape who hasn't played in a while, or even the best time for someone who has never played the game before to try it out. So just to get one thing clear right from the jump here, if I say RuneScape in this video, what I'm actually referring to is old school RuneScape. It's a long story for whoever isn't aware. Jimmy has a great video on it and he goes into detail about it if you want to check that out. It's quite an interesting tale actually. But the short version is that JAGEMODE makes two versions of RuneScape. RuneScape, which is also commonly referred to as RS3, and old school RuneScape, or OSRS for short, which is for all intents and purposes the main version of the game now, because to my knowledge it's the most popular one, at least in online discussions rather than actual play account. It's basically a version of the game from way back in the day before JAGEMODE made some sweeping changes to the way the game works, but for simplicity, for the rest of this video, if I say RuneScape, I'm talking about old school RuneScape. So if you are completely new to RuneScape, I'm going to try and give a really brief overview of what it is, assuming you at least have a little bit of knowledge about video games in general. So it's an MMORPG, an old one, which is why it looks like this, but it's similar to a lot of other RPGs. You have skills with levels that allow you to do and use better things as you get better. There are activities in the world to do that make you better at these things. There are quests that have little stories and things to do that reward you, usually with either coins, items, or experience in one of the skills. And there are items, most importantly things like weapons and armor that you can either find, make, or loot off of enemies that you kill. And speaking of which, there are a lot of enemies that you can kill, ranging from cows and goblins all the way up to dragons and whatever this is. In the normal game, there is also this big market where you can go and sell your stuff to other players, but that gets a bit complicated to explain, and for the purpose of this video, I won't mention it because you can't use it in this league anyway. So if you're new here are the reasons you should play this. First off, everyone is still kind of figuring it out. One of the reasons why jumping into RuneScape is so daunting for most people is because you look at Reddit, you look at forums, you look at YouTube or the RuneScape wiki, basically anywhere online, and you can see that this game has been hyper optimized within an inch of its life, to a point where a simple point and click browser game has now become one of the most mechanically input intensive games out there when you are at late game content.
Double click, double click, double click, double click.
But this league has sort of reset that. Sure, a lot of these super intense skilling methods are still technically really good, but thanks to some of the insane buffs from the relics and the massive multipliers on XP rates, you can still level really fast using whatever training method you want. So the amount you're penalised for not doing the most optimised thing is really not that much, so you're not going to be sat there feeling like you could be doing something so much faster if only you followed the right method and were better or whatever. Here's one for returning players. The area restrictions this league puts on you is a lot of fun. Me and my friends have been debating about a lot of the areas and which ones are best to pick, and that's mostly because there's not really a bad choice a lot of the time. And the fact that you ultimately only get to pick 3 of them adds a level of thinking that you wouldn't normally get behind the game. Because usually you get, when you play, you have a normal list of the most optimal way to do things, and you likely have an optimal order to do them in, and you may not have access to some of those things this way. If you're a new player, this is actually probably the one thing that's maybe not for you, because you're not going to know what to pick. So let me just tell you instead. Pick Asgarnia, Desert, and Kandarin. These are not only the first 3 regions that you're likely to see if you're playing the game normally, but they're also a really good balance for any of the choices you make, as there's plenty to do in all of them. And you don't have to pick a particular playstyle to make good use of the regions. It's kind of just a good mix of everything. Now let's talk about those buffs that I was talking about that completely break the game. That's what the relics are. As a new player, you may look at these and think you've got no idea what they are, and that's fine. And that's because realistically, you can kind of pick whatever you want with any of these, and you're still going to have fun. It's similar to what I was saying before, in that, yeah, if you pick one and you don't like it, so you end up just kind of doing stuff that goes against whatever you pick, guess what? Come closer, yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, God forbid you pick something and you don't use it optimally, or to its full potential, or you could have picked another one that better suits your playstyle. Big whoop. I could go into detail and say, oh, this one is best for new players, or this one is best if you want to do this in in-game, but really you're able to do any of the content in the game without any of the relics anyway, so you'll be fine with whatever you pick. Don't stress about it. If you're not new to the game though, oh boy are these fun. Trickster with unlimited chains of pickpocketing without failing. Fairies, Flight, and Globetrotter giving you unlimited teleports to tons of different locations. The tier 4 combat relics making one of the 3 combat styles super overpowered. Fire sale for things from every shop in the game for free. Banker's note to note and unnote items in your inventory on the fly. Farmer's Fortune to instantly grow things while farming. These are things that can seriously change the way the game works and unlock new ways to play the game. In leagues, they changed the shops so they don't run out of stock either. That's just for everybody. And thanks to a relic like Production Prodigy, for example, that lets you process a whole inventory of items all at once, allowed me to get over 10 million XP an hour in crafting. It's really quite revitalized the way I think about the game. And I kind of wish this game mode was going to be permanent, but that's unfortunately not the case. It's kind of made it so that I can actually just jump in the game for a little bit and get lots of stuff done because of how fast things happen. Usually with RuneScape you sort of log in and it takes you like 4 hours to get stuff going, and then to make any progress in a skill, for example, to get it really high leveled, you have to grind out training the skill. Even if you do it the most optimal way, it's for days usually, and it's easy to not really want to carry on doing that after a long time, especially when there's, you know, other games to play that don't make you do that for days just to progress a little bit. But League solves that. You know, usually when I've played the game, when I've gone back to RuneScape, like I have many times over the years, and I've never really played long enough to progress my character too far. Like, I've maybe got 199 skill, and then I kind of got bored and stopped. Whereas I've been playing League since it came out about a week ago, or a week and a half ago-ish now, and I've already got 2 skills 99, and I'm still really excited to play all the time. So if you've never played the game, or if you played the game, you know, in the past and you want to try it out again, I highly recommend that you give Leagues a go. I really hope that they bring these things back more often, or they make it permanent, because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, give it a go. Crack it open and have a good time. You'll get to see just how much fun you can have with a game from 2001. But that is 22 years old. God, I feel ancient. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing some RuneScape content on the channel, let me know in the comments down below. I feel like it's a very niche game, so it might be one of those ones I just kind of make these kind of videos about rather than like actual gameplay things. But if I'm wrong about that and you want to see it, let me know. Other than that, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content about other games. I've got more Baldur's Gate 3 videos coming out. If you like that game, check out the other videos on my channel as well. And other than that, have a nice day.